Concrete Jungle Travel Agency. Are you my 3 o'clock? Wonderful. It's so nice to meet you. Yeah, well, I'm so glad that you have chosen us to plan your amazing holiday this year. Yeah, are you excited? Wonderful. So, the first half of this meeting is really going to be me trying to understand what you're looking for. So, where you would like to go, when, for how long, what your budget is, the kind of places you want to stay, etc. And then we can start looking at ideas for, hotels, maybe some plans, some daily plans, etc. Yeah. So we probably won't book the whole vacation today, but we'll leave the meeting with some good ideas for how we want to move forward. Okay, wonderful. So let me just pull up your profile here. Yep. So on the phone, you had said you were thinking somewhere in Europe. Has that changed, or do you have somewhere more specific in mind? Okay. Okay, so you're thinking Italy or France, maybe? Any other? Portugal? Okay. Okay, so that region of the world, I understand. Out of all of those places, which one would be like dream vacation? Italy? Okay. So let's start with Italy and let's see where we get to with that. And how long would this holiday be? Okay, so 12 days. Wonderful. And when would this holiday be? Okay, wonderful. I think that is a great time to go. Italy can get really, really, really hot mid to late summer. So I would say spring or early summer is a good time to go. Yeah. And then what would be your budget for this trip? Okay. Yeah. So this is like a special like couple vacation for you guys. That's wonderful. Okay. So I will do my best to make it absolutely special and romantic. Okay. Great. Now, let's zoom in on Italy a little bit. Obviously, it's a whole country. We can't do the whole country in 12 days. So, do you have specific places in mind that you would be interested in visiting? Okay, yes, definitely Rome, of course. Okay, yeah. So, definitely Rome, but maybe some other places, but you're not sure, of course. So, yeah, so I think to help me kind of narrow down where I would recommend that you go, it would help for me to know some of your interests, like what do you like to do when you're on vacation? What are you interested in seeing? Like, for instance, why Rome specifically? Okay, of course. So the history, the art. Okay. So you're more interested in like art, museums. Okay. 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 Yeah, that makes sense. I will say that 12 days is quite a long trip to be doing, a museum you be interested in doing a few days like in Tuscany, in wine country, kind of maybe living somewhere a little bit more rural, maybe spend some time in nature? Would that be interesting at all for you? Yes? Okay. Wonderful. And of course, I will still make sure you have beautiful accommodations. It is still lovely, high-end, romantic, all of those things, but just in nature, slightly away from more of the hustle and bustle of the city. Okay, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So I think with that, I understand more of what you're looking for. Some things you pointed out were art, museums, history, cooking, and food. And I just think Italy is the perfect place for all of those. So I think we've made the right choice picking there. If you'll give me just like 2 minutes, I will do some brainstorming and come up with a little bit of an itinerary. Obviously very high level at this point, but then we can discuss it and see what you like and don't like. Okay, wonderful. Question for you. While you were in Rome, would you be interested in visiting the Vatican at all? Yes, okay. Wonderful. I will put that in the schedule. Are there any dietary restrictions or like physical restrictions for either of you going on this trip? Yeah, like if maybe you can't walk very far, or your partner can't walk very far, or you need some downtime during the day, or okay, sounds good. Okay, so I have a rough itinerary for you. It's going to include 4 days in Rome, 4 days in Tuscany, and then 4 days in Florence. Okay, so for Rome, the high-level itinerary I have is on day 1, you arrive and settle into your hotel. Then a golf cart will come pick you up, and you will go on a panoramic golf cart tour of Rome that will let you see the Colosseum, the Trevi Fountain, the Spanish Steps, Piazza Novano, and the Pantheon. So, really big first day, but it will be more like a drive-by of all of the, big sites. Less of like stopping and going to museums and, everything, but you will get to see all of the beautiful historical sites of Rome. And since you'll be in a golf cart, it won't be a whole lot of walking. So it will be a lot of culture and a lot of history, but less physically taxing. course, while you're doing that, you can stop to get gelato, stop for snacks and drinks, etc., and really take in the city with your guide. On day 2, I have a private guided tour of ancient ruins. So obviously up to you and your guide what ruins you would like to see, which sites you would like to see, but you will have a completely private guided tour. So this will be very much up to you and very specific to your tastes. Then I would say you could have a midday rest. Again, maybe some gelato, some pizza, some pasta, a nice light lunch, and then you could visit the LDS Rome Temple, which is a beautiful temple in Rome. It's just a sight to behold. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's also a visitor center there that you could pop in to learn the history and, maybe buy a little memento or two. And then you could have dinner in the city, and if you are up for it, maybe like a light evening stroll through the city. Yes. And once we get more into specifics, I can obviously offer you restaurant recommendations, maybe make reservations ahead of time even for you, of course, but also there will be staff at the hotel who can help you with that as well. Yes, of course. So for day 3, I have as the Vatican Day. So you can visit the Sistine Chapel in St. Peter's. And in the afternoon, you could visit some Vatican museums or wander around, eat some food, maybe stop at some gelaterias, and then you could have rooftop drinks at your hotel or go to a local bar for some drinks and some nightlife. Then on day 4, you would have a relaxed breakfast either in the hotel or in a local breakfast place if you would like, and then you will travel to Tuscany. So you will drive to Tuscany with a pause in Orvieto, which has beautiful old streets and a cathedral to look at, and you can also have a lovely lunch there in town. And once you arrive in Tuscany, you will be staying at a beautiful villa. I have one option here that I can show you, but of course we have many options, many partnerships with different hotels in the area. So if you don't like the villa idea, you could stay somewhere else. But in my high-level itinerary, you will be staying at a villa. For the Tuscany part of the trip, I've left it pretty open-ended in terms of the itinerary. I've focused mostly on like beautiful nature things and also on food, because I know you said you were a foodie and you love to cook. Tuscany has some beautiful food, beautiful farms and produce, so that's really what I focused on. But you of course can do whatever you would like, and we can edit the itinerary as you see fit. So the next day in the itinerary, I have a truffle hunt with a local guide and a dog. So this is maybe a little unique, maybe something you wouldn't think of, but there are lots of truffle farmers or truffle hunters in the area, and this could be a fun, nature-filled activity for you. And then you could have a lovely outdoor lunch made with the truffles. So not only is it a fun, nature activity, but also you get to enjoy some delicious food, and you get to learn about truffles and truffle finding from your local guide. So I just think this would be a really fun activity for you guys. And then for dinner that night, I thought you could have a beautiful dinner at a farm-to-table restaurant, which is on the villa property. This is a common occurrence in Tuscany since they have beautiful farms and, like I said, amazing food, amazing produce. This will be a classic Italian meal, so expect it to be many courses of just delicious, delicious food. For day 7, I don't have anything in the itinerary other than a private chef will come and cook for you. They will cook. I know a private chef in the area that does these beautiful dinners. They cook Chianina beef, local sausages, buffalo mozzarella, and fresh produce. It is absolutely gorgeous. Everyone that I have arranged this for comes back raving about it. It is super, super, super fresh, just delicious Italian food. And then day 8, I have a morning pastry workshop. So a pastry chef will teach you how to make some beautiful desserts, including panna cotta and chocolate mousse. For dinner, you could have an outdoor barbecue at the villa. They have a little area for outdoor barbecuing that is just darling. Yes. Okay. Then you would travel from Tuscany to Florence. On your first day in Florence, I have in the itinerary that you would explore Il Duomo and climb up for 360-degree views. It is absolutely stunning. It is a must in Florence. You can also visit the Accademia to see Michelangelo's David. I know you said you love art and history, so again, that is a must see. And then you could have dinner at a local trattoria. For the next day, in the morning, you could stroll to the markets near Ponte Vecchio and explore the many things that they sell there. You can take a carousel ride and then walk along the Arno River. And then at sunset, you can have a bike tour of the city and countryside. Now, this can either be a private tour just for the two of you, or this can be a group tour if you're feeling a little bit more social. This tour will take you around the city and around the countryside, and you get to watch the sky change color as you traverse the countryside on your bike, which is gorgeous. The next day, I have planned some vintage shopping at the Mercato delle Pulci market. This is a huge vintage market where you can find all sorts of gorgeous keepsakes and things to remember your trip by. And then in the afternoon, I would highly recommend a fresco painting class with a local master painter and teacher. This is a super fun, hands-on artistic experience. I would say even if you are not artistically inclined, this is still such a fun, like hands-on activity to do while you're in Italy. But if you are, if you do have an artistic side, then this is just such a great opportunity to really stretch those muscles and try something you might not have tried before with the helping hand of a very gifted teacher. Then, on your final day in Italy, I have arranged a cooking class with local chefs at a storied kitchen on Ponte Vecchio. In this class, you will learn how to make all sorts of things, from gelato to gnocchi to other types of pasta, etc. And then, of course, you get to sit down and enjoy your creations together. Yeah, so that is the full itinerary I have made for you. Does that sound like something you would be interested in? Of course, we can polish out all the details later. If you don't like specific day itineraries, that's fine. But at a high level, does visiting those 3 places for that amount of time make sense to you? Yeah? It sounds good? Okay, and the Tuscany part you're okay with? Okay, wonderful. In that case, I think we can take a little look at some hotels. I clearly have some hotels in mind, hence some of the specifics in the itinerary I made. But if you don't like them, obviously we can change out any of the hotels, including the villa in Tuscany. So the first hotel I'm thinking of is the Bulgari in Rome. It is a beautiful luxury hotel. As you can see, it has a beautiful on-site restaurant called Il Ristorante. It also has a beautiful high-end spa. Can I click into it? Oh. Where you can get all sorts of luxury spa treatments. It also has a pool and a gymnasium and a cafe on site. It is in a fairly central location near all of these amazing landmarks. So it's the perfect location to stay at to see all of the wonderful historical sites that you are interested in. Here is some pictures of one of the rooms. This is the most basic room you can get, so it only gets more luxurious from here. We could, of course, could, of course, get you a suite. It's really up to you and what your budget is and what you would like to spend your money on. So we could go up to even like premium suites, which is, gorgeous, gorgeous rooms. You have an outdoor patio, a living area, etc. So that is where I'm thinking for Rome. Next, in Tuscany, this is where I was thinking of the Castiglione del Bosco Hotel, which is basically a villa in Tuscany. It is a 5,000-acre estate. Excuse me. There is, of course, a winery on the property, as well as a golf club. There is multiple restaurants at the hotel. There's Ristorante Campo del Drago, which is a Michelin-starred restaurant. There is Osteria La Canonica, which is Tuscan culinary traditions, a trattoria-style Tuscan restaurant. And then there's a bar, of course, where you can have light lunch, tea, and cocktails. I was thinking you would like to stay in a villa. So there's a couple to choose from. Of course, it depends on where you would like to spend your budget. So we could do maybe a normal room in Rome and then a beautiful villa in Tuscany, or vice versa, whatever you would like. But these are just absolutely gorgeous villas. There is a villa with 3 kings and 2 twins, which houses up to 8 guests. Then there is this villa, which has a private pool and jacuzzi and has up to 12 guests. We have this villa, which is slightly smaller, up to 8 guests, but also has infinity pools and spectacular Tuscan views. We have this villa, which is near the golf course, so if you're interested in that, you might want to stay there, etc. There are lots and lots of villas. These are the 2 smaller ones, so they allow up to 6 guests, and etc. So you would probably only need a smaller one if it was just the 2 of you. Of course, you could invite some friends for the Tuscany portion, or you could stay at just a normal room, of course, if you are more interested in that. They do just have suites, of course, in the hotel, which are, also gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This terrace suite. Do they have pictures? Maybe not. But it looks absolutely gorgeous. And then in except cookies. In Florence, I'm thinking you can stay at the Four Seasons Hotel, which is a luxury 5-star hotel. Again, you could stay at any number of suites or normal rooms. Or you could stay at one with a Duomo view. This looks beautiful. You can see Il Duomo from your room. Wow. It looks absolutely gorgeous, very opulent, very luxurious. And then for hotel amenities, they have an outdoor pool and hot tub, beautiful gardens. They have outdoor dining. They have a 5-star spa, of course. And you can rent a luxury sports car, etc. They also have, oh, you can't click on it. They also have a romantic dining experiences. So if you wanted, I could call them and arrange a special romantic dinner for the two of you. They also have 24-hour room service, of course. So those are the 3 accommodations for the 3 cities. Do you have any thoughts about those? Okay, yeah. So you might have more people to Tuscany if you get a villa. Sounds lovely. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad that has inspired you. Yeah, well, I thought I wanted to focus on history, art, and food since those seem to be your main focuses. So I planned a lot of food-based activities in Tuscany and a lot of art and history in Florence and Rome. Yeah, of course. Well, I think that is all we are going to do in this meeting. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to straighten out this itinerary, give you a few more specifics, and I'll email it to you. And please respond with any notes, any things you want to change. Yeah, so we can email back and forth as many times as we need to get the itinerary hammered down. And then once that is done, we can look at booking flights and booking hotels. And by we, I mean me, of course. You do not have to do anything. All you have to do is accept or tell me what else to do. Yeah, exactly. So this should be a completely stress-free experience for you. Don't you worry. I will do absolutely everything for you, and you can just relax and enjoy a beautiful, gorgeous vacation in Italy. Of course, it's my pleasure. Well, it was so nice to meet you.